All right, now 16 days on and cops continue to hunt for concrete proof against Aftab Poonawala, the man behind Shraddha Walker's butchery. The murder-accused Aftab will be undergoing his third session of polygraphy test, and this comes after the test could not be completed after he had complained of ill health last week. So they stalled it until today. In fact, the 28-year-old will also face a narco test right after the polygraph test concludes. The Tihar jail superintendent has now received a court order that Aftab should be presented at the forensics lab in Rohini today, tomorrow and the 5th of December. Meantime, cops now seem to have unearthed Aftab's links to drugs. FSL Mumin, a drug peddler who is also an alleged close friend of Aftab, has now been arrested from Surat. In fact, this was the suspicion that the police had right from the start, that Aftab could have been heavily into drugs. That could have led to his violent behavior, his volatile temperament, his anger issues may have stemmed from extensive drug abuse. And now the police seem to have arrested yet another man who was peddling for Aftab, basically supplying drugs to Aftab extensively over the years.
सर, जो आफ्ताब है, अम्बेडकर अस्पताल में नार्को टेस्ट होना है, तो क्या आप ही करेंगे उसका नार्को टेस्ट सर?
हाँ जी, अम्बेडकर हॉस्पिटल में ही टीम रहती है इसकी, जो एफएसएल से भी टीम आती है और हमारी टीम भी रहती है। नोडल ऑफिसर नार्को का मैं ही हूँ।
अच्छा सर।
हाँ जी, मेरे साथ जूनियर डॉक्टर्स होते हैं इन्वॉल्व इसमें।
अच्छा, तो सर कौन कौन नार्को, जब आप नार्को टेस्ट करेंगे तो आपके साथ कितने डॉक्टर्स का पैनल रहेगा और कौन कौन?
डॉक्टर्स में एक एनेस्थीसिया के डॉक्टर और होते हैं और बाकी फोरेंसिक की टीम होती है
जी।
फोटो डिवीजन होता है। हाँ जी,
फोटो डिवीजन होता है।
हाँ जी।
अच्छा, तो अभी जो नार्को टेस्ट आफ्ताब का होना है, तो क्या आपके पास आफ्ताब को लाया गया या वो नार्को टेस्ट से पहले कोई प्रक्रिया होती है, मेडिकल जांच वो हुआ?
मेडिकल जांच उनकी हो गई है।
अच्छा,
ठीक। हाँ जी,
नार्को टेस्ट को लेकर?
हाँ, नार्को टेस्ट को लेकर मेडिकल जांच हो गई है उनकी।
अच्छा, तो सर ये कोई शेड्यूल हुआ कि नार्को टेस्ट कब करना है?
नहीं, अभी कोई शेड्यूल नहीं है।
तो क्या जो मेडिकल जांच हुई नार्को टेस्ट को लेकर अस्पताल में, तो क्या उसमें वो फिट है नार्को टेस्ट के लिए?
उनकी शनिवार को हुई है जांच। कुछ रिपोर्ट्स अभी आनी बाकी हैं जो कल तक उम्मीद है, तो कल मॉर्निंग में हमें रिपोर्ट्स मिलेंगी, देख के तभी बता सकते हैं, अभी नहीं।
अच्छा, तो एनेस्थीसिया के डॉक्टर आप हैं, तो आप लीड करेंगे और आपके साथ एक और डॉक्टर रहेंगे?
हाँ जी।
अच्छा सर।
Cutting back to Shreya for more on that. Shreya, since you've been tracking the story, we believe that Aftab cited ill health and his polygraph test was stalled temporarily until he got better. We believe he was tested at a hospital as well, but now he will be going through this test. This is almost a precursor before he takes up the narco test. Give us an understanding on this entire process that the police will conduct.
Well, yes, Nabila, this is a procedural part, the polygraph test that's right now under its way in the FSL Rohini, where I'm standing right now. Now, the remaining part of the polygraph test today began at 11 a.m., which we got a confirmation from the FSL team who's conducting the test on Aftab. Now, post the polygraph, once the reports will be given, the narco test will be proceeded. We've also unearthed that there's no set timeline before and after a polygraph or a narco test. Once the polygraph is done, the narco test can be initiated. And Aftab will obviously be given sodium pentothal, post which the entire test is run through. Now, this obviously is something that the Delhi police has been banking upon to close in on which part of the verbal confessions of Aftab that should be relying upon, especially because they need to make it a watertight case. They need to file a charge sheet, and which evidence should be the corroboratory evidence. These are certain things that the Delhi police wants to understand, is why they are running through the polygraph and the narco test. On the other hand, in another week, we will be probably seeing the preliminary reports from the CFSL out on whether the dismembered body parts that the Delhi police has recovered is indeed Shraddha's or not, because that will also give them a further test to understand when she was murdered and how she was murdered. So these are the scientific beat of investigation that the Delhi police is right now conducting, and as we speak, Aftab's polygraph test, the remaining session of the polygraph test is currently underway in the Rohini FSL, Nabila.
All right, stay with us. Shreya, as the news tightens now on butcher Aftab behind India's most chilling murder. In fact, more than 2 weeks after Shraddha's murder case, the police seem to have found a timeline as to how Aftab really managed to destroy key evidence despite being under cops' radar. After killing Shraddha, Aftab has destroyed her SIM cards in fact, as he used several of her SIM cards back in May itself when he carried out the murder. He destroyed them, kept using her phone though, every now and then, only to make it look like she was alive and functioning. But after a missing complaint was filed on October 12th, Aftab was told to come for questioning. Between October 23rd and 26th, Aftab disposed of Shraddha's phone somewhere in Vasai before appearing before he landed up before the police there on October 26th. He tried to destroy all evidence, including Shraddha's phone. After returning to Delhi on November 4th, Aftab disposed of the remaining evidence, including the murder weapon as well. Further now, the police sources say that Aftab spoke with Shraddha's friends to keep them in an illusion that she is still alive. He went on to meet some of Shraddha's friends as well in Mumbai and told them that they've broken up and he has no contact with her, only to avoid any further suspicion on him.